Welcome to this video on how to stop guessing and start observing and documenting children's learning effectively. We will explore the purpose of observation, tips for documenting, and how to use the data once you have it. Let's get started. Assessment data is the heartbeat of great teaching. When educators know where each child truly is, they can simplify tasks, add scaffolding, or introduce bigger challenges at just the right moment, turning teachers into curious researchers who design personalized learning rather than a one-size-fits-all approach. Every child grows in their own unique way, and assessment helps us honor that. Tracking development across all domains builds a rich picture of the whole child, their strengths, interests, and potential, while early identification of red flags ensures children receive timely support before small challenges become bigger barriers. When we watch children at play, collecting work samples, anecdotal notes, and running records, we uncover how they think, problem solve, and what lights them up. These authentic snapshots reveal far more than any checklist could, and at the program level, help leaders strengthen instruction and invest in meaningful professional development. Families are a child's first and most important teachers, and they deserve to be true partners. Sharing portfolios and documentation helps parents see that their child's play is powerful, purposeful learning, building the trust and collaboration that every child deserves. Let's begin by looking at how to prepare for observation and documentation to ensure we gather meaningful data about children's progress. When planning for assessment, remember that development is variable. No two children grow at the same pace, and that's completely normal. Young children are sensitive to their environment, and an unfamiliar setting, an unfamiliar adult, or even the time of day can impact how they perform. A child who feels uncomfortable or unsure may not show what they truly know. It's also important to keep in mind that young children tire quickly. Hunger, fatigue, or overstimulation can all get in the way, and distractions are never far away in a busy classroom. This is why the most meaningful assessments happen in natural, familiar settings during everyday routines and play. When children feel safe and comfortable, we get the most authentic picture of who they are and what they can do. A strong foundation in developmental milestones is a must for effective assessment. This knowledge allows us to accurately track a child's growth from infancy through the school years. Next, we will explore the concept of authentic assessment, which focuses on real-life evidence of a child's learning and development. Authentic assessment means observing children in their natural element, during play, routines, and real classroom interactions, rather than relying solely on formal tests. Watching how a child negotiates with a peer, works through a challenge, or expresses an idea gives us a far richer picture of who they are as a learner. Collecting data authentically means gathering meaningful evidence over time. Anecdotal notes, work samples, photos, and running records that together reveal patterns in growth and areas needing extra support. But the real power lies in what you do with it. Use your findings to adjust your curriculum, rethink your environment, and form flexible small groups based on where children actually are. Don't forget families. Parents and caregivers know their child in ways we may never fully see in a classroom, making them invaluable partners in setting meaningful goals. And always assess the whole child. Physical, cognitive, language, and social-emotional development are deeply interconnected, and every child deserves to be fully seen, supported, and celebrated. There are several methods for documenting children's learning. Now let's review the different types of documentation you can use in your classroom. Anecdotal notes are short, focused observations that capture a specific moment in a child's day. Each note should include the child's name, date, time, and location, along with specific, descriptive details of what you observed. The key is to stay objective. Record exactly what you saw and heard, without interpreting or making assumptions. Checklists are a practical and efficient tool for tracking a child's development. By measuring skills against established developmental milestones, they help educators quickly identify where a child is thriving and where additional support may be needed across physical, cognitive, language, and social-emotional domains, giving a broad snapshot of the whole child at a glance. A running record is a detailed, moment-by-moment account of a child's behavior as it naturally unfolds. Unlike a quick anecdotal note, it captures the full sequence of events, giving you a complete picture of not just what a child did, but how and why it happened within the context of their environment and interactions. The most important thing to remember is to stick to the facts. Record exactly what you see and hear, free from judgment or interpretation, allowing the child's authentic story to speak for itself. Frequency counts are a simple yet powerful way to gather quantifiable data on a child's interests, play patterns, and behaviors. Using tally marks to track how often a specific behavior or activity occurs, they are quick and easy to use, even in the busiest classroom moments. Because they turn observations into measurable data, frequency counts are especially valuable when developing behavior modification strategies. Seeing patterns clearly helps educators make intentional, informed decisions that support each child's growth and well-being. Work sampling documents a child's development through the things they actually create, drawings, writing attempts, paintings, building designs, and more. These tangible creations give us concrete evidence of where a child is in their learning journey that observation alone cannot capture. Collecting samples at regular intervals makes growth visible in the most beautiful way. A scribble that evolves into recognizable shapes, or a simple sentence that grows into a detailed story. Technology tools have transformed the way educators collect and document observation evidence. Photos, videos, and audio recordings capture children's explorations right in the moment, preserving authentic details that might otherwise be lost in a busy classroom day. Collecting documentation is just the beginning. Once you have gathered observations, work samples, photos, and records through a variety of methods, the next crucial step is making sense of it all. Organizing your data thoughtfully is what transforms individual pieces of evidence into a meaningful, coherent picture of each child's growth and development. Developmental checklists offer a comprehensive overview of where a child currently stands across all areas of development: physical, cognitive, language, and social-emotional, providing a clear snapshot of what a child has mastered at a specific point in time. What makes them so valuable is that they don't just document, they guide. The insights they reveal help educators identify strengths to build upon and areas where additional support may be needed, making them an essential tool for intentional, responsive teaching. Digital assessment systems have transformed the way educators manage documentation. By allowing real-time data entry in the moment, these tools streamline the assessment process and free up valuable time for what matters most: being present with children. They also instantly generate progress reports, allow for strategic disaggregation of data, and make it easy to identify trends and pinpoint where support is needed most. Perhaps most importantly, digital systems make sharing information with families effortless and timely, keeping parents meaningfully engaged and strengthening the homeschool connection. Work sample portfolios are a tangible celebration of a child's creative and academic journey. Collected at regular intervals throughout the year, they bring together drawings, writing samples, projects, and more, telling a rich and authentic story of growth over time that honors each child's unique path. One of the most important skills in authentic assessment is learning to distinguish between objective and subjective observation. Objective data is rooted in fact. It is what we see, hear, and experience through our five senses, recorded exactly as it happens without added interpretation, because it stays close to the truth of what actually occurred. Objective data leads to valid, reliable results that we can confidently use to inform our teaching. Subjective data, on the other hand, is shaped by personal opinions, assumptions, and bias. When we filter our observations through our own experiences or expectations, we risk missing the child's authentic story and making decisions based on perception rather than reality. Striving for objectivity in our documentation is an act of respect. It ensures that every child is seen clearly, fairly, and for exactly who they are. Observation data is one of the most powerful tools an educator has, but its true value lies in what you do with it. Once documentation has been collected, pause, reflect, and let the data guide your decision-making. Start by reviewing what you have gathered, looking for patterns, strengths, and areas needing additional support. Use those insights to individualize instruction and provide the right scaffolding, meeting each child exactly where they are. Individualizing instruction begins with truly knowing each child, identifying their unique strengths to build upon, and recognizing the areas where they may need a little more guidance and support. Once you have that understanding, intentional scaffolding becomes your most powerful tool. Whether it's breaking a task into smaller steps, offering a gentle prompt, pairing children thoughtfully, or adjusting materials to better match a child's current level, effective scaffolding meets children exactly where they are and helps them reach just a little further than they could on their own. Rather than following a rigid, predetermined plan, let the data guide you, shaping your studies, activities, and experiences around what children are actually showing you they need and love. As you plan, take time to consider the whole picture. What topics and themes are capturing children's curiosity and imagination right now? Which skills are they eagerly practicing and refining through play? And where are the gaps? The skills that need more intentional revisiting, additional practice, or a fresh approach to spark new understanding. Use your observation to guide which changes to make in the environment. When designing, add materials that appeal to children's interests and provide an appropriate challenge. Include materials that allow children to practice their current skills. Assessment data also shapes how you bring children together to learn. Thoughtful grouping decisions are one of the most effective and often overlooked tools in a teacher's planning toolkit. When data reveals that a group of children share a similar skill level or a common area of need, bringing them together for targeted small group activities allows you to focus your instruction precisely where it is needed most. These intentional groups create a safe, supportive space where children can practice and grow without feeling overwhelmed. At other times, mixing children with varying skill levels can be equally powerful. When children learn alongside peers at different stages of development, Natural opportunities for peer support and social learning emerge organically. A child who has mastered a skill becomes a confident mentor, while a child who is still developing benefits from seeing and hearing how a peer approaches a challenge. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. We hope it has given you a clearer, more confident foundation for observing and documenting the incredible learning that happens in your classroom every single day. Assessment doesn't have to feel overwhelming. When we trust the process, let the data guide us, and keep the whole child at the center of everything we do, it becomes one of the most rewarding parts of our practice. If you liked the information and this video, please like and subscribe to find other helpful videos related to teaching young learners. See you next time.